man. Hey, what is good, y'all, man? It's your boy Joshua 316. I just got done watching Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me tell you what my thoughts were in this review based off these categories right here. Let's get right into it, man. Alright, so for the story of Five Nights at Freddy's, it is fairly simple. Mike Schmidt is a man with custody of his sister. His aunt is trying to take her away, so he gets a job as a security guard to Freddy's Pizzeria to show he is responsible, I guess. Mike's brother was kidnapped when he was very young, and ever since he's been trying to find out who did it. I think for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, this is a fair story considering the concept of the movie that they were going for. On top of that, it fits pretty well within the FNAF lore if you are a fan of the franchise. The only problem is I don't feel characters get much time to develop on screen, and that is what is going to end up being a problem for the scoring, which I'm going to give a solid 7.
Wow!
Alright, so on to watchability. So here is where my major problem is. When it comes to watchability and enjoyment for this movie, I can't help but feel it was a letdown. I feel this movie spent way too much time with its story rather than what I personally would have liked to see, which is the animatronics just going insane and being scary. And I feel we only got like 5 minutes of that, which is pretty disappointing. For me, the best part of the movie was the end in the third act, because that's when all the action kind of piled up, and even then it was over fairly quick and the animatronics barely did anything anyways. I feel they didn't get enough time to shine, which sucks because they look amazing in this movie. Like, I'm talking, they look accurate to a T compared to the games. So not being able to see them in their full glory more throughout this movie is just unfortunate. Due to all that, I'm gonna have to give enjoyment a 5. Alright, on to the message for this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, the message for this movie is pretty solid. In my interpretation, I see the message being moving on from the past. And I think they did a pretty good job on showing the repercussions of not doing so. The problem is, I don't feel like they actually make that a lesson learned. Mike Schmidt causes a bunch of problems because he can't let go of his brother dying. Yet, in the third act, nothing actually happens to the point where he is shown to have grown from that. Which sucks because I feel they built it up fairly well to where they could have executed something great. And then they didn't. So with all this, I'm going to say the message is a solid 7. Alright, last but not least, we got our post-credit scene. So, this is the part where there will be spoilers. So, if you do not want spoilers, I beg you please, skip this part of the video, follow the timestamps in the description. You have been warned. Okay, so the post-credit scene is Corey Kenshin in his taxi. He is a taxi driver, and he gets off his shift, or however that works, and he gets ready to sleep. Then, someone knocks on his cab and is attempting to get a ride. He says, "Nah, I'm good, man." And then the person opens the door and gets in. He looks at his passenger seat, and he sees Balloon Boy just sitting there looking creepy as hell, and he screams. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's funny or whatever, so I'm gonna just give it an 8.
Whoa!
Right, so wrapping all of this up into our calculator, doing our rocket science here, racking up the score, we get 67.5%. Now, that's not the greatest score we've had here on 316 reviews, but listen, man, I wanted to like this movie. I really did. I saw a bunch of negative reviews and stuff before I saw it, which I was hoping to lead me to a better experience, but unfortunately that did not exactly happen how I wanted it to. Will I be watching it a second time? Yes, that's a guarantee. I'm going to watch it again, just why not? You know, it's on Peacock, so I would watch it again. It's not a horrible movie. It's just not the highest rated that I have rated so far. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So it's been your boy Joshua 316, and I'm gone. See y'all.